Marc Smith is from 30 Day Adventures.
30 Day Adventures, correct.
And you were speaking here at the STS conference in Inverness about working with an agent, which for most bloggers is kind of beyond their wildest imaginations.
I know, I was really shocked actually that it's not taken off a little bit more here. It's just emerging in the North American market, and I think it's a great opportunity to bring a team member on that specializes in kind of brand sales, negotiations, contracts, and they can actually bring you extra work, and you don't really pay them unless they bring you business.
And it makes a world of difference to any working blogger. I mean, you actually came from a kind of a business background, so you were used to having to go out there and pitch for business.
Yeah.
But for many bloggers, and particularly older bloggers who came from maybe from the traditional media world, when the phone rings, it's not because they're only phoning for something from you.
Yeah.
You don't have to phone them, and that takes a lot of the pain out of it. But one of the first things you said, which struck me, was it's not easy to find an agent, they tend to find you.
Yes. So similar to speaking agents or book agents or things like that, you almost have to build it and they will come. So you want to build your audience, you want to be professional, you want to build your platforms, and maybe not be don't try to be the king of everything. Really try to focus on whether it's Instagram, YouTube, your actual blog itself, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. Really build your community, and then certainly reach out and try and date an agent or two, interview them. But generally speaking, when you get large enough, and because basically what they want to find someone that they can make money from.
Yeah.
They're not doing this out of the goodness.
It's self-filtering, isn't it? In the sense
Absolutely.
That, if you're any good, or rather if they're any good, they will have done their research because they'll know who's out there and who's worthwhile.
Yeah. But you equally need to research them because not every agent is right for you. Right? So you need to find one that is going to be in a market that is going to have access to the brands and businesses and agencies that you want to work with. I mean, obviously it's a digital world, so an email you can be anywhere to send an email, but it is great to have an agent that has access, whether that's phone access, personal face-to-face access, or just knowledge of the brands and companies that you want to work with. And so you really want to and you also want to make sure that you actually have a similar working philosophy and style. So if your agent doesn't return your messages very quickly, and you're on it all, so there's little tiny things you really need to do your due diligence, because you're putting a lot of your trust of your business and your brand in somebody else's hands.
So to start with, it's worthwhile if you do start working with an agent, not doing it, setting it up so it can be on the small scale, or rather the short scale. So you can do a dating test.
Yeah, I think so, but I think if when you sign the contract with your agent, when you're in, you're in. Don't play a half in, half out game.
Yeah.
So you do your due diligence. You ask them to refer you to their existing client list to see how they work with them, do they pay quickly on time? Have they brought them lots of opportunities? When they do bring an opportunity, are they a good negotiator for you? So all the things that. Yeah.
The bottom line is that they are representing you, so there has to be a kind of a natural chemistry between the.
Absolutely. If you want a shark, hire a shark. If you want, I think I'm a softer, gentler kind of, I'm very Canadian. Yeah, so I kind of, I approach things, I hope, very nicely and a lot of respect, but still professional. And so I want an agent who maybe is a little bit more aggressive than me, that can, no, Mark is worth, this is the rate, and maybe can be a little firmer on those kinds of things. But at the same time, I still want someone who's nice and friendly. And, I want someone that I want my agent to be someone that these brands want to work with, because they're actually going to be dealing with her more than they deal with me.
And the bottom line, the average rate for an agent is what?
20%. I think that's a fairly standard. It's very similar if you're a talent, so if you're if an agent representing an actor, an actress, or a model is anywhere from the 10 to 15%, but I think 20 is probably
normal.
I think, yeah. And when you think about it, they're doing a lot of work on your behalf.
And what's the payback? In other words, for you, what's the difference does it make financially having an agent?
Yeah, so absolutely, my agent has negotiated bigger rates.
Where you would have gone in sort of in a comfortable,
Yeah, maybe I would say, for example, I just did a campaign. I would have said 500 Canadian. Yeah. She said 750 US. Yeah. So now she's getting 20%, so she's getting 150 of that 750.
Yeah.
However, so already $600 is more than the $500 I would have charged, but it's US, so converting that to Canadian, I'm getting an extra 25% on top of it. So that's a win-win right there. But also, it's great because I certainly review every contract that we are, or every deal that we're doing, but she also looks at it, so it's two pairs of eyes. And part of my deal with my agent is that she does the reporting to the brands that we work with. So that's a big chunk of work that I don't have to do. So that saves me time, which saves me money. Because all the things that I don't have to do now that my agent is handling these things allow me to do other things like go on a trip or to work with another DMO or to come to SDS Inverness and speak and things like that. So these are the opportunities that I'm freed up to do because my agent is actually actively pursuing other projects for me.
Could you live without her now?
Well, we're in the early days yet, but I don't want to live without her. That's maybe the best way to say it.